The very idea for this channel was born on a trip to ride a riverside trail in Columbus, Georgia on Mother's Day weekend 2020. 5 years later, it's time for an encore. Only this time, I thought it would be appropriate to take my dad back to his old stomping grounds and introduce you to another family member. My brother Tim makes his YouTube debut on this trip. He warmed up to trail riding real quick, and he likes donuts almost as much as I do. Sit back and enjoy Return to the Chattahoochee on this edition of Joyful Trails. He's back. Hey, Dad.
Hi.
Welcome. This is your first official visit to the Joyful Trails studio. How about that?
Oh, well, it's quite a studio. I'd make some changes, but it's not mine.
Wow. Just wow. So, Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, that was special.
I thought it would be a good idea
Yeah.
to go back to the Columbus and Phoenix City area.
Yeah.
In this video, we're going to focus on the Chattahoochee Riverwalk in Columbus. What do you like? If I just say Columbus, Georgia, what are some of the things that come to mind? What are some of the memories that you have or whatnot?
Oh, some of the memories. Okay. I remember when you were born.
I was born in Columbus, yes.
Yes. Shall I tell them what happened?
Sure.
Well, they took your mother to the labor room, and I got as far as the hallway, and they said that I hollered out and collapsed on the floor. Well, they took me into an empty room that happened to have a window so that people coming down the hall could look in on the babies. Well, they put me in the bed in that room, and everybody that came down the hall looked in, saw me, and almost fainted themselves to see a man in the labor room in a bed. It was quite an experience, and so that's how you started affecting my life.
You do realize that you just told that story to the entire internet.
How do we get it back?
This is Columbus, also known as the Fountain City. Founded in 1828, Columbus was named for Christopher Columbus. The Chattahoochee River served as Columbus' initial connection to the world, enabling it to ship cotton crops. But in the 1850s, guess what?
I have no idea.
The railroad arrived.
Oh, what a big difference.
And Columbus subsequently became a textile center of the South.
And that is where your mother worked. When she graduated from high school, she went to work in the cotton mill. But she worked in the office area.
Yeah. She didn't mess around with those loud, noisy, smelly machines.
No, she was at a desk.
Well, the railroad gave rise to textile mills all along the river. And by 1860, Columbus was one of the more important textile centers of the entire South. You know what else is in the downtown area? Well, they call it Uptown. But
Uptown?
I'm talking about the H.L. Green 5 and dime.
When my wife and your mother was in high school, she worked at the the
H&L Green.
H&L Green Dime Store, 5 and dime.
That H&L Green store is still there, still has the signage, although it's, I believe, a restaurant these days.
Yeah.
We've already touched on Mom working there, but if I were to say Eagle and Phoenix Mills, Muskogee Mills, W.C. Bradley, do those names ring a bell?
They certainly do. And your mother was a highly respected employee of one of those very large cotton mills, and her family were in the management of Bradley.
W.C. Bradley.
W.C. Bradley.
Famous people who were born in or lived in Columbus include politician and historian Newt Gingrich, iconic gospel singer Jake Hess, founder of a legendary group known as the Imperials, and CCM artist Bebo Norman. You know, I've always thought he had a really cool name, Bebo Norman. Why didn't you name me Bebo? I could have been, this could have been Joyful Trails with Bebo Bachman.
Wouldn't that be something?
That has to be a nickname. That can't be his given name.
Probably.
Who names their child Bebo? You know, another reason Columbus is special. I have seen 3 presidents or presidents-to-be of the United States in person in my lifetime. And but I've only touched one. And that's when you took us to see a campaign stop by President Ronald Reagan at Columbus. Then it was called Columbus College. But it was a campaign stop, and he and Nancy came down the aisle, and we happened to be right there on the aisle, and we all got to shake his hand on the way out.
It was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great memory. Stick around for a look at the Chattahoochee Riverwalk, which is one of my favorite trails of all time, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming up. It's coming up soon. But first, let me just mention that while my brother Tim and I rode that trail, you were on your own. We had enough faith in you to just turn you loose. We turned you loose on Uptown Columbus. What happened? What are you? And first of all, what are your impressions of what they call Uptown Columbus?
I think it's beautiful. They have upgraded. They have restored so much of the buildings and the decor. As an example, the streets, part of the streets are brick, apparently hand-laid brick, and it's beautiful and still used every day. Well, when I was down there, I got kind of hungry for some ice cream. You know, I've got a weakness for ice cream. So I saw this little ice cream shop, and I went in and picked out pistachio. It's green. It's green ice cream. And so I had the young lady that was there. She fixed it up for me, and she put some extra in it and made it a little bigger than normal, and was smiling real sweet. And I said, do you know why I'm here? And I told her about the YouTube Joyful Trails, and I gave her one of our cards, and then I went outside. She was all excited about that. She said, oh, I look at YouTube a lot. And so I went outside, ate my ice cream, came in, and she brought another employee out front from the back to introduce her to me as though I was a celebrity with YouTube. And got to tell both of the girls about YouTube and about our channel and Joyful Trails and Trains, and that was really special.
That's pretty awesome. You know, we often say you meet the nicest people on bike trail trips.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have two brothers, and this is one of them. This is the one that is closest to me in age, so close that my parents dressed us in the same clothing when we were kids, and people thought we were twins. We went back home on Mother's Day weekend. Talk about kind of how that was sort of meaningful and special to go there.
Yeah. Well, on that point, and when it comes to Mom and going back that weekend, that was significant to me. And I think to all of us. For me personally, I wasn't sure what I was going to feel, what I was going to even enjoy. But I had the best time. And to me, I made a statement to you on the trip that it was like I felt like a kid again. Do you remember me telling you that? Mm-hmm. I felt emotions and feelings of just freedom and enjoying the outside, enjoying not having a controlled thing in my life. You got to be here at this time and do that and do that. When you're on a bike riding those trails, you feel like you're connecting to where, this is going to sound so cheesy, but almost the way, you're supposed to spend your time, And I know we have to provide for our families and all that. We have to do all these things. I understand all of that. I'm not saying quit your job and ride a bike, but that'd be a great bumper sticker. So, but I just felt like
it kind of sounds like a plan to me. But
I just felt like it was just so full of, and this is so corny, and we didn't rehearse any of this stuff. I promise to those that are watching, but it was like it brought you joy, and I had the best time.
We had a problem. We only took one bike down to Columbus, so we had to get another bike. And we ended up finding a bike to rent for you. Only $20 for the whole, well, it was like $20 for 4 hours, I think, something like that. But it was a place called Whitewater.
And they rent a lot of bikes, different kinds of bikes.
We shot some brand new, awesome footage of the Chattahoochee Riverwalk, and you're going to see it in just a second, I promise. I know you think, where's the trail? Look, it's coming. But first, let me quickly get your impressions of what they've done with downtown, or I should say Uptown Columbus. What do you think just walking around?
I'm going to say Columbus needs to have like the old 2 thumbs up. They've done a tremendous job. Really, Scott, that whole downtown has just been transformed. And it's really cool. Part of it's still cobblestone, if I remember correctly.
A lot of the art is inspired by the old mills, the textile mills that were there. There's art on every corner that's cool, that kind of harkens back to that time. And I noticed that there are still tracks, inlaid tracks on those brick streets.
Right.
Where trolley cars and trains used to travel. And the tracks are still, I don't know why I think things like that are cool, but I do.
No, they are.
I just think stuff like that is awesome. Enough about textile mills.
Oh, it's coming.
Enough about textile mills, Whitewater, and RC Cola. We've got a trail to ride. It's the Chattahoochee Riverwalk in Columbus, Georgia. Let's go.
I burned out like a wandering ember. I shone bright, then my journey was over. What I sought when I ran was back where I began. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I gained all that I knew for a price. In the end, what I found was nowhere near as nice. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. Though I fought with my claws and teeth, though I elbowed my way to a seat, there'd be no kind of peace like you beside me. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Nothing's as it seems in the photo. Nothing is as sweet going solo. Nowhere I can ramble or roam change my mind, could slow my coming home. Storm, I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Really quick, let me say a big thank you. We recently passed, as of this recording, 7,000 subscribers here at Joyful Trails. Thanks to each and every one of you who have subscribed, and if you haven't, what are you waiting for? You know, I thought about that number. If we were to take all 7,000 subscribers and lay them end to end, they would wrap around the world 2.5 times. Actually, I think that's probably not correct. Also, I'm bad at math. I don't know, maybe if we could lay all 7,000 folks end to end, they would stretch from Greenville to Columbus, Georgia. You think? Like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment.
Welcome to Golden Donuts.
Now that is an image that I won't soon forget when we were made welcome at the Golden Donut.
Oh, it was golden, all right. They were golden. They were delicious.
And somehow you always found a way to leave there with an extra donut like we didn't even realize you had. We were all finished, Scott and I. Okay, let's go. And you're like, what's in that bag? Well, I just got one to take back to the hotel room.
I would talk them into it.
That was a great place. And not only the young lady, but the young man that was there.
Hey, there were some good people. Nice with Scott, Fred, and Tim. And they do the Joyful Trail. And we would just like for you to, get with them. You know, when you come through Golden Donuts and, they say they're going to go on the bike trail and ride the calories off. I think that's a great idea. You don't want to just eat it and let it stick, and you just, so that's a God because you taking care of your temple, eat you some sweets, and then you're working off, burn your energy off. That's a good thing, Joyful Trail, follow him. Scott 10-3.
He's a good salesman.
He was good, just natural.
Made us feel so welcome. I'm going to say this. I love where we live. I love upstate South Carolina. But am I right or wrong? When you go deeper south, there's still some of that old southern, deep south hospitality that's just a little different.
Different, yeah.
Not better, but different.
Just different and good.
And you worked that to your advantage multiple times. There's a place adjacent to the Whitewater place where we rented the bikes.
Right.
And it was like for lack of a better term, like a food court, but it's more like a food market, they'd call it nowadays, with independent vendors in there, and we had lunch there.
Yes, we did. It was great.
Let's talk about that. Did you enjoy yours? Now you went old school now.
Well, we went to the hot dog. Your brother and I went to the hot dog place.
Was it good?
And it was wonderful. It was a German hot dog with sauerkraut and fried onion rings.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it was good.
What did the onion rings make you think of?
I'll just say it was your mother.
Yep.
And it was Mother's Day weekend, and it was just great. Onion rings like Mom used to make.
So there was the poke sun, and you remember me eating them. I told you they were really good. Had a little dipping sauce.
Yeah.
The other was called Filiberto's, and they were so good. All their stuff was good as well.
Chicken empanada. Good. Some vegetables in it.
Overall, just a great experience.
Right.
And added to the flavor of the trip. See what I did there? The flavor.
I got it. That was cool.
It's hard to compete with you and Scott. Your jokes are just really good, and I'm just trying to get involved in that. So the hotel we stayed in.
Oh, nice place.
We enjoyed our stay in Columbus, Georgia, and it was near a lot of things that we got to go do and see, and the location was perfect.
Yep. It was Mother's Day, and we had the opportunity to go and worship at our family church. Evangel Church is actually the church where we placed our family membership. It was just special for us to go back on Mother's Day because we had to go without Mom being with us, and because she's not with us any longer. However, we enjoyed that special emphasis.
And I believe the Lord has a word for you today. And this word is not just for mothers, it's for mothers and others. All right? I want you to know that. But it's especially written and prayed over for our mothers. We want you to be blessed. So
we're grateful to
very good.
Pastor and all the people there at Evangel for making us feel so welcome.
Yes.
Scott and I went by there while you were either taking a nap at the hotel or who knows what you were doing. But we toured the place when it was empty, and then of course got to see it functioning on that Sunday. What a blessing to see what has happened at that church.
Yes.
It has expanded, it has grown, it is doing so many things.
God is so good. He's so good to me. God is so good. He's so good.
churches in Columbus, Georgia, but we know that's definitely one of them. And we just thought, we were all impressed, and it was a great part of our trip.
It really was.
Stick around for our exclusive Joyful Trails star rating. Tim gets the privilege, the responsibility of us. The guest always gets to assign the star rating.
I feel a lot of pressure right now, honestly.
Well, I feel a lot of pressure because, I mean, for me to take that and just to allow you to give that to you, it's pretty scary for me. Anyway, not really. You know, I've been to Columbus before. I've done videos on the Chattahoochee Riverwalk before.
Okay.
So I'm not going to really spend a lot of time like I typically would talking about all the little ins and outs and details. Instead, I would be more interested in hearing what you thought about the trail.
Okay, I'm just going to have full confessional. I've never ridden a trail in my life except part of the Swamp Rabbit Trail, and it was the part that's over by Furman University.
Or as we like to call it, El Swamp Rabito.
Never called it that in my life, but if you want to do that, I love that.
Well, let me just go ahead and tell you then, because if the Chattahoochee is only the second greenway / riverwalk / rail trail type of trail that you've ever been on,
It is.
You picked a good one.
To me, it changed dramatically. Just the river views. It went from the rapids. There are times that I felt such calm and peace, just like you just wanted to just exhale and just stay there a minute when the river was just like glass. And there wasn't a lot of that. I know it's moving. It's a river, but it would be huge. The width would go from never narrow, but it would be broken up by an island here or a little something there to these stretches where the water would just be so vast. But the water looked like if you fell in there, you better have something on to keep you up because it's going to take you somewhere. And I'm not sure when you'd stop. It looked so powerful. And people were just sitting on the rocks. People just, there was places there where you could rent kayaks. There's elevation and you could see things a lot further down the river, and it was just really a cool, that's the thing. What made this bike trip to me so enjoyable on the Chattahoochee was it just took you to so many different, you don't want to use the word emotions, but you experience so many different things on a bike trail because of the river. And it took you on a journey that I referred to with you, that you felt like you'd feel one thing in one place and one thing in another. So that was, the Bibb City thing was really cool. I did enjoy that. You could see where they had painted murals and had places where people could gather and sit and talk and just relax. Nature functioning around people, and you could tell the birds. I think they were herons or cranes or whatever. You'd know what they were.
I think blue herons. I'm not the greatest at identifying birds, but I think they're blue herons.
But they were comfortable with people, and people weren't harming them. They weren't harming people. It was just like a blending of God's creation and it was beautiful.
The trail goes right through the Columbus Trade Center building. It goes around the bend and under some large bridges.
Wait a minute right there. Is that train trestle type thing as well?
I hadn't got to that yet,
Oh.
but yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
When I went in there, I felt, that's when I made a statement to Scott that I felt like I was a kid again. You hit this wall of just cool. Not cool just in scene, but cool in temperature. We just disappeared in there. And then we came back out, and I couldn't wait to come back because we're going to get to go through that again. And as crazy as it sounds, that was one of my top features of the whole trail.
So I've been on the Chattahoochee Riverwalk 2 or 3 times now, but I still have not been all the way. I haven't ridden the whole thing. We're going to have to go back sometime and do the entire 44 miles, 22 miles one way. That's a 44-mile out and back trip. We're going to have to do it.
Well, when you told me we had been on the bike for close to 4 hours,
that day. Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
And I wanted to be there for so much longer, but our schedule was such that day that we had to return the bike and get on the road. Okay, so the moment of truth has come. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 5? What would you give the Chattahoochee Riverwalk in Columbus, GA?
I know everybody's going to think I'm saying this because of my lack of experience on bike trails, but I got to go with my gut. You know me. I'm the hard on the sleeve guy. We talked about that. I'm going 5. I thought about 4. I'm going 5.
5 stars.
5 stars
for the Chattahoochee Riverwalk. I agree.
Yep.
In fact, I think that's what I gave it last time.
It took me on just journeys. It took me in places and feelings and emotions. It stirred things. It gave me a good physical challenge.